fascia. It's a tensegrity system. In my book, and how I think you should think about it, they're not all the same, but fascia, lymph, the extracellular matrix, they all take care of the spaces in between. We hear about muscle, we hear about bones, right? We hear about organs, but what about all the spaces in between? Everything lies in the spaces in between. When you're reading a book, is it the words that you're reading that make the book, or what you pick up in between the words in the book, right? So for me, focusing on the spaces in between is really what moved me forward in terms of my health and plenty of my clients. So the first step we need to focus on, if we're focusing on the extracellular matrix and the lymphatic system, is we have to drain the system. The system has to be able to drain, okay? Anyone in this room ever experienced swollen lymph nodes before? Lymph nodes? Yeah. It means the system is not draining, okay? How many people in this room have suffered constipation in your life? Not fun. Yeah, the system is not draining. So in the world of biohacking, natural medicine, everyone talks about detoxes. I'm going to do liver detox, kidney detox. Do you think that you should be detoxing if you can't drain? The answer is no. So this is a chart that Dr. Cass created talking about something called biotoxicosis. And essentially, our body wants to live in a state of homeostasis. Homeostasis is normal. That's where the body wants to be. When the body cannot achieve homeostasis, it moves into these bioenergetic disturbances: xenobiotic, toxin accumulation, and compensation. Now, to give you an example, under xenobiotic accumulation, we have candida, fatty liver, constipation, and essentially the system can only compensate for so long, ulcerative colitis. And then it progresses and progresses and progresses. The body goes into a rigid immune response, which is anything with itis, osis, or eventually cancer. The law of bioenergetic medicine, as above, so below. Rule number 1, the higher frequencies permeate the lower. Rule number 2, the lower energetic frequencies do not permeate the higher. And rule number 3, the lower energetic frequencies are a differentiation or an expansion of the higher. What does that all mean? Essentially, what's happening down here is a differentiation of what's happening up here. And that's just in the physical body. That's just talking about the mind and the body. We also have energetic bodies that we talk to, okay? Anyone in this room know about something called transgenerational trauma? Yeah, we got a few hands, okay? There are certain things in humans that are programmed to be scared of or fearful of because of things that our ancestors learned, okay? That is transgenerational trauma. We have it from our own experiences in childhood. We have it from our own experiences, from our parents, from our society, and then previous generations. I was sick because my body was a swamp, okay? If anyone has ever owned a fish tank and you clean the fish tank without cleaning the filter, what happens? It goes green again because you got to clean the filter. I was sick because I wasn't draining, which is why when I had my poke bowl, I'd be tired and sleep. What can be in the swamp? Heavy metals, chemical residues. Right, yesterday we had a whole talk on heavy metals. Okay, chemical residues, plastic water bottles, right? Everything we put on our skin. The list goes on and on and on. I'm at the hotel. There's like perfume in the air. Oh, it's like gives you a headache sometimes. Stealth viruses, mycoplasmas, bacterial infections, fungal patterns, parasites. These are all things that collect in a swamp, right? Things grow in a swamp. If you want to get rid of the swamp, what do you got to do? Break them and let the water flow. What creates a swamp? I think each of these could be a 2-hour presentation on their own, but geopathic stress, we've talked about EMF and radiation, methylation pathways, have you heard about that? Lack of movement, right? 10,000 steps. Trauma, talked about that. Lack of sunlight, too much light. GMO, pesticide, unstructured water. Okay, I have 3 Kangans. I like structured water. I like hydrogen-rich water. Lack of salt and minerals, hypothalamic dysregulation, left spin. Most clients are sick because they are stuck in left spin. Their mind, heart, and body are not in a place to accept nutrition or detoxify, and that plays through in the cells. In the technique that I use, EAV, people cannot detox, they cannot drain, and they cannot heal if their system is in left spin. If you're one of those people that does everything right and don't see the results that you want, or moves really, really slow, and then you have a fun weekend and you go right back, that's left spin. We follow a process called healing for the pattern of life. And without getting too deep into this, quadrant 1 is restoring cellular communication pathways. What does this all mean? If you don't poop regularly, if you don't absorb your water, which means if you're peeing all day, if you drink and pee, left spin. If you don't poop, you absorb your water, and you do not sleep, you do not have the capacity to heal. No matter what you do, it will not work if you don't take care of those things first. That's just quadrant 1. I could talk for 2 hours on that, but I'm not going to because my time's up. So we follow a process which is the right remedy at the right time, at the right level, and in the right sequence. There is order of operations for taking care of the body and getting it to a place where it can heal. If you're just doing random things because so-and-so on Instagram said it or so-and-so on TikTok said it, you're going to set yourself up for putting xenobiotics and toxins deeper into the system. It's called progressive vicariation, and it is much, much harder to get these things out of the mesenchyme, out of the system when you drive it deeper. If we want to heal, which has been done for eons, we look to nature. We meditate in the mountains, spend time in the oceans, we spend time in the sun. If we want to heal, we need medicine that reflects that. We need medicine that reflects nature and has the codes of nature within it. Dr. Cass's remedies follow that exact symmetry. It follows sacred geometry. It follows the math of nature. And within that math, our bodies are receptive to the healing capacities of the medicine. Most of what we take supplement-wise are synthetically derived and full of chemicals, and our body has no idea what to do with it, which is why we don't see the results that we're looking for, even though we tell ourselves we're taking the things, we're doing the things. So quantum bioenergetic medicine is a process that I use, plus all the lifestyle basics that we've heard about the last 2 days. And all it is a framework. It is a framework that invites you to employ into your own life, into your own healing journey, in order to figure out what's going on with anything you're looking to improve. Really quickly, I got 2 examples here. Dave was an amputee of 50 years, chronic pain, narcotics, failed surgeries. He's actually my father-in-law, and last fall he came to me and my wife saying that he was ready to commit suicide because he was just in pain for too many years. That's a photo of him with my daughter. Some of you might have seen her around last week, and lost 50 pounds. And these are some of the readings that we can see in his testing. 8 months, 9 months. This client here is Joe. He's 82. He first started seeing me when he was 78, and his daughter brought me because he was using his feet, right? He was shuffling his feet, right and left brain weren't talking to each other. When elderly individuals start to shuffle their feet and they start to not move, things start to go downhill quickly. We found that he was in left. We found that his hypothalamus wasn't regulated. The top gland, that's our very first gland. And when that's dysregulated, everything is dysregulated. 4 years later, he's on his medication, no state issues, no GERD. He's working out. Everyone at his church wants to know what he's doing. My name is Jason Prasad. If you're going to find out more about what I do or how to work with me, scan the QR code. It'll take you right to my website. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jason. It was a very interesting session. In fact, you were asking if anyone's had a near-death experience. I've had. So, what is it exactly? Quantum leap.
Say it again.
So, I've had a near-death experience.
Yes.
Back in my childhood. So, what exactly is it? You were saying it is quantum leap.
Yeah, quantum leap. So a quantum leap essentially is where your perspective of reality changes. Something happens, a trauma happens, an event happens, and the way we look at life completely shifts and changes. All of a sudden, someone is smoking and drinking, someone dies in a car accident, a drunk driver, and then there's this quantum leap that says, I'm never going to drink again. I'm going to become an activist like that. That is a quantum leap. It can happen in any way, shape, or for me, I watched my grandmother die of the medical system, in my opinion, at the age of 12, and it just drove me to help people get out of pain. And that was a quantum leap I had at the age of 12. And we've all had them in one way or another. And I think when we can, focus in on preventative medicine and take the tools that we've talked about today and look at ourselves as beyond just blood chemistry, we build philosophies that can support us and our families in health and vitality.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Jason. And to felicitate Jason Prasad, I would request Ms. Paul to join us on stage. Can we put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you very much. Manish Pole, is that how you would say your name? Pole, Manish Pole. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Manish. Thank you very much, Jason. And just a reminder that the knowledge that we will be sharing here over these 2 days does not constitute for any medical advice or treatment for any health disorder or condition. The next topic is Hacks for Peak Performance by Alistair Overeem. I'm sure you met Alistair yesterday as well. Alistair Overeem is a Dutch professional mixed martial art and kickboxer. He has competed in multiple organizations, including the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC, Strikeforce, K1, Dream, and Glory Kickboxing. Overeem is also known for his impressive striking ability as well as his grappling skills. So can we please have Alistair Overeem on the stage? All right. Thank you, Alistair. Yeah.
Hello. All right. Thank you for having me, Dubai. I will start with first introducing myself. My name is Alistair Overeem. I'm a former professional fighter, very long career. I've been training for 30 years, fighting active career for 20 years, very long. Usually fighters have a career span of 5 to 8 years. Mine has been triple. Many times to Japan, over 11 years, more than 70 times to Japan. For the last 10 years, I've been living in the States, fighting in the UFC. And it's been actually looking back in big adventure. And I would like to talk about phone addiction today. And in specific, how I stopped my phone addiction. I'm going to hold my phone, by the way, because I'm not a natural speaker. That's next. Let's go. How stopping my mobile phone addiction led to my enlightenment.
So I stopped on addiction back in 2021. For years, I've seen the problems of mobile phone addiction around me, family, friends, training partners, in an increasingly worrying form. And I started to become more and more aware of this. However, it was only when I saw a video of my eldest Storm, she's 16, that I became more aware of this. However, the video of my daughter Storm, which was recorded by her mother, made me very deeply touched. I saw my daughter sitting in this position and just incapable of action, just sitting there. And I rewatched the video over and over and over again to find clues, to figure out what's happening. My daughter's a very happy girl. She's artistic. There's no threat. Happily married. She has two brothers on that side. On my side, there's two sisters. And there was no reason for my lovely daughter to sit like this. So, deeply touched looking at my daughter, I started doing research. And luckily, fortunate enough, that you have YouTube. You can find very rapidly, if you're searching in the right direction, what is happening. So what I found was that, look, if we have my older son, here she is. What is happening there? Dopamine, which your phone is transmitting, makes you addicted. Have a look. She literally could not get herself dressed. Her behavior was so different from normal behavior, as I would call it on average in a healthy situation. This led to a conflict, a struggle, which started 10 minutes, went to 30 minutes, went to an hour, ultimately went to 3 hours before she couldn't even get dressed to go to school. And as a father, it devastated me, to be honest. And I literally, as a fighter, I don't know if it's my instinct, but I treated it as my daughter's under attack, and I just dove in the matter. And I made a startling discovery. The dopamine system, we're going to get to that in a second, but I kind of was sitting in the car, had a tear of my eye, because I also realized half the world these days is addicted. But fortunate, smartphone addiction negatively affects. Fortunate, with my sporting background and the methods of programming myself, the practice of programming myself, I was able to create a schedule to get myself off my phone addiction. Now, let's read a little bit more. Forgive me, guys, I'm not a natural speaker. So my daughter's Storm inability was caused by a structural overload of the happiness fabric, dopamine. Dopamine, better known as a happiness hormone, is a message in the brain that allows nerve cells to communicate with each other. It is important for specific functions in the nervous system, such as movement, pleasure, attention, happiness, motivation, to want or to desire some things, to do something, that dopamine is running and running correctly. Now, when you're on your phone a lot and you're getting these dopamine shots all the time, what actually happened with my daughter is that her dopamine receptors structurally got overcommit. And when this happens, sitting there, I never go to school. Now, I've done research. There's more children suffering from this. And what happens is that, where's that button? There it is. Becoming the freeze. And more children are suffering from this. What I've done is for myself, I made a little schedule. I'm used to these things. How am I going to get rid of this problem, right? That as a fight. I downloaded an app on my phone, put it on my iPad. One app a day. Started with this stupid video game I played. The second one was Instagram, which is also a big headache. The third one was Twitter as well, because we cannot solve the world's problems, so why would I even read it? And after like 7, 8 days, the problematic apps were gone. On my iPad, I limit use of my iPad to 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at dinner time. And first was tough. First week was severe withdrawal symptoms. It just felt like an itch. Second week was slightly better. Still felt uncomfortable, but slightly better. Then the third week, I still feel like a little something was, but I'm stubborn person. I'm just gonna keep at it. We need to beat this fun addiction. Treated it like a fight. I've done 94 professional fights. This was then my 95th, I guess. And day 21, something happened. Boom. I felt great. Everything I ate, an apple, was like the best apple ever. My energy went through the roof, 2,000% energy. I hardly even sleep. I was sleeping for 4 hours and I woke up at 4 a.m. I'm just awake, I'm writing, I'm reading, I'm energetic. And the day 21, I could leave, because of course I've been fighting forever. And when you take supplementation, supplements, they kick in after 3 weeks. So I knew, hey, that's that reset. Right? Sometimes you stop a supplement and then it kind of stops working after 3 weeks. What's happening up here? Assistant, sorry. Assistant? Okay, I'll just keep talking. So, with my daughter, she's still addicted to her phone. I'm off my phone. I'm living the best life ever. Energy is still high. Also, just the little things make me happy again. This is a feeling that was gone. And I think this mobile phone thing is a big problem. In the meantime, I've helped over 100 to get rid of their phone alone. It became kind of like a phone addict expert. And I believe that collectively we need to address this, because there's more kids and also adults. As we can see how the phone affects you, the screen directly lowers your consciousness. The brain hits make you feel empty inside, but when you do something, you feel good again. And if your dopamine requirements is high, that means you're going to be doing a lot of things all the time, which if you're a healthy person, that's okay. But when you're less conscious, it could easily go into drugs or fast food or other not so healthy practices. So I have this program. I actually noticed how it made me just more stupid, simply. And consecutively with this, I am here to discuss the mobile phone dangers, and especially for the kids. So, with that being said, I would like to take your questions, and that's it.
Hi, Alistair. Thank you for your session. My question to you, as a professional fighter, how do you actually prepare mentally and physically before a fight? Because it's so many things going on in your brain. So how do you prepare physically and mentally? What really happens? What's your training protocols prior to your championship fight?
So a question: what happens to me before a fight?
how do you exactly prepare mentally and physically to be ready for a fight? Because it's like, so many things going on.
So I have a lot of fights, right? 94 fights. It's been literally training for 30 years, fighting for 25. How I handled the stress of a fight in the beginning of my career was very different than now. Actually, right now, my last fight was 6 months ago. I beat Badahari. Right now, I get myself into a flow state and I just surf. I just cruise. It's very different from in the beginning where it was more tension, more aggression. But good question. Yeah. Not about a fight, right? I'm here to talk about phone addiction. No, it's good.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Mr. Lister. I've been watching your fight since I was, I think, 9 years old, and you are my inspiration. Why I started playing sport, karate, judo at early stages of my.
I cannot understand you at all, but come close and just ask me in person, and I'll repeat.
Thanks. So,
I'll repeat for you. I inspired you.
Thank you so much. And now, my question. Now, how
Come back, everybody. Come on. Okay, so just a little recap. I inspired you to start fighting training yourself, but you have a little niece who has.
Yes, I have my niece at home. She's 20 years old. She just moved to Dubai. And her mom and I noticed that she was always on her phone, and she can spend 20 hours on her phone. She doesn't even sleep at night. And when she's off her phone, she's always in a very bad mood. I mean, she can't do anything around. She just gets to do things when she knows that we are almost done with our duty and we are about to get home. That's when she will start doing things around. And what we figured out was maybe she wasn't getting enough outdoor activities. So we try to figure out what she loves. So what I do most of the time, I invite her to the gym to go with me, because Alistair Overeem here, he's the man who inspired me to start playing sport. I started watching his fight when I was like 9 years old, and I played judo, karate at an earlier age. And now I am Middle East strongest man, Dubai strongest man, and Emirates strongest man, thanks to this man right here. I compete in the 80 kilo category, and we have an upcoming competition as well on the 24th June. Thank you so much, everyone. And for my niece, sometimes I take her to the gym. She loved it the first day. The second day she came, then she stopped completely. It's been 2 months. She said no to the gym. Then we figure out that, maybe she will love something else. And she's a freelance therapist. She do lip tattoo and filler, Botox and everything. So now we had to speak to a friend who has a clinic in Dubai so that she can go and offer her services. And she loved the new working environment. She doesn't even speak English well, but she just loved the place. She loved all the employees there. And she is working 15 hours a day for the past 3 days, and she loves it. When she comes home, she eats and she sleeps. She is in a very good mood. I believe that what Mr. Alistair said, dopamine receptors, sometimes you need to find a replacement habit. You can't just move away from your phone. It won't work like that. You will go back to the same habit and you will do even worse. So find a replacement habit, things you're passionate about, start slowly. And I also love the fact that you migrated from your phone to your iPad, the application. So you set a limited amount of time on your iPad where you're working. And bit by bit, you get used to your new mode of life. Thank you so much.
Great explanation, my friend. Yeah.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
So these replacement activities, crucial. And then I would describe those as you have the good dopamine and the bad dopamine. the dopamine, take a dog for a walk, go swimming in the ocean, stand in the sunlight, eat fruit, eat healthy, right? Bad dopamine, the phone, bad relationships, junk food, make that list longer. If you replace your bad dopamine habits with good dopamine habits, and you just keep that up 21 days, as long as you just don't go into the bad, you will get your reset. And I think the reset is worth it. I think at least trying the reset, doing the reset, experiencing the reset. You know, in my case, my energy levels just went through the roof. I became way more clear. I became way more positive. Resulted in me, having a great relationship with my mother, which was strained. Of course, I was living in the States, doing my thing, just training, sleeping training, sometimes flying around, doing some seminars. But now I'm back in the Netherlands, and all my relationships actually are very well, all of them, because I'm present in the here and now, and I'm not just always on my phone doing nonsense. So this dopamine reset, I can highly recommend it to everybody, and especially if you have children, you need to limit that screen time, because otherwise, well, we've seen it with my daughter and also all the other kids, right? Which, by the way, is not really in the media, which I also have a problem with, right? Because I believe it's a national health emergency. So, any more questions? Yasmin?
So you spoke like a lot like how eliminating technology increase your energy, and I would like to know 3 other biohacks that you're using to improve your performance.
Okay, so this is an interesting summit because it's all about hacking. Hacking in the word itself is already negative, I believe, because it's a shortcut towards. And actually, I'm standing here from a whole different direction. My direction is maybe we need to stop wanting to go forward, but we need to actually take 1, maybe even 2, maybe even 3 steps back and just give it a break, we give it a rest. Allow the system to recover itself. The example I just gave with the apple tasted like the first apple I ever ate was delicious. And I think that is the right way to clean up the system, reset the system, and then experience the things like they're fantastic. I keep my body now in a very reset state, and I'm enjoying everything I'm doing. I'm very present, like I just described, but also even dinner. And this also comes together with fasting. I fast. I believe also that, for example, the Ramadan, Muhammad, who brought the Ramadan to Muslims, which is an incredible healthy feat, is not happening because people are addicted to their phones. So this dopamine reset is not happening. And what you see is that the dopamine is high, extremely high. I have Muslims as friends, I consider them brothers. They wake up at night multiple times to eat, and they're eating not healthy. So this dopamine, the height of the dopamine is a problem. And when the reset is not happening, it just keeps climbing up. And the problem is, and you just saw my daughter and you just saw the other child, that it inhibits your ability to do things, create things, desire things, want things in the real world. I think the reset is crucial.
And of course, I know you for a very long time, almost for nearly 2 decades.
The other 3 biohacks.
Yes, but could you maybe like elaborate on your more recent practices that you have been doing, like breath work and your ice baths?
Yes. So the mobile phone, let me explain a couple of things how the mobile phone affects you. So the screen flickers, lowers your consciousness, the blue light disrupts your night and day rhythm. Usually circadian rhythm is the ideal. I heard one of the other speakers explain that. The sun comes up, we wake up, we do our thing, the sun goes under, we slow down, right? Don't have to go to bed straight away, but we slow down. That's a little bit how our nature is optimal. What is the other one? The blue light, the color saturation. Once I killed my phone addiction, like the call an absolute kill, the colors became more bright in real life. So it's amazing how this little device, which is also very handy, and I also don't believe we should go live under a rock, but we should control our phone instead of the phone allow it to control us. So when you ask me other hacks, I actually went completely in the natural way. So take ice baths. I think that's really beneficial. Sauna is also beneficial. My nutrition is I would say 99.99%, if it's not 100%. And yeah, what other hacks? Fasting, is fasting a hack? It's just not eating, right? But that dopamine, eating is also a dopamine activity. When your dopamine is high, you're gonna eat more. So we really want those dopamine levels low. Fasting becomes so easy. I'm already fast. I'm fasted today. I didn't eat today. And what happens then? Consciousness goes up, sharpness goes up, your ability to create your future goes up. So it's just a question: what do you want? Do you want to do nothing on your phone, or do you want to create your best life? And I think if it's put like that, it's just a question. It's not a problem. It's not a challenge. It's not you must do this. It's just a question. What do you want? I think then you reverse the whole thing and then power back to the people.
Thank you so much. Any more questions? No. Thank you very much, Alistair. And for the felicitation, may I please invite Mr. Luca Saun onto the stage. Alistair, please accept your memento. That's for you. Thank you very much. I think that was a very from the heart session. Thank you very much, both of you. So, fasting is something that we all should do at least once in a while. In Ayurveda, fasting is really, really used as a treatment modality. When one has fever, the first step of treatment that Ayurveda mentions is fasting. There's a Sanskrit shloka which goes, Langhanam Svedanam Kalo, which means first you fast. Langhanam is fasting. There's so much of toxins that we put into our body. We keep eating, and we actually do not give it enough time to digest. And there is so much of toxin buildup in the body that we need to fast. We need to give the body some rest to detoxify. Well, getting back to our sessions, I'm your host for the evening. My name is Shruti. I'm a radio presenter and an Ayurvedic doctor. The knowledge that we will be sharing here over these 2 days does not constitute for any medical advice or treatment for any health disorder or condition. So the next session is actually a panel discussion. The topic for the panel discussion is mind over muscle, the healing power within you. That is something that we all need to explore. And the panel discussion will have Alistair Overeem, Manish Paul, Dr. Smita Prabhakar, Shivani Bajwa, and the moderator for the session will be CJ Malhotra. Over to all of you.
Mind over muscle. At least that's what you would have seen in your agenda. But we want to take this conversation beyond just the mind and some of the physical performance aspects, because I think one of the things that is going on in the world right now, which we're not really paying attention to, is our mental health. in 2050, they estimate that 1 in 3 people will have a mental health crisis. 1 in 3 people. 2050 isn't far. And if we continue to do the things that we're doing right now, this situation can even come much more faster. So today's panel is going to be revolving around mental health, some of the mental performance things that we can do. And I'm so glad to share the stage with you guys. So I have a question. We always talk about mental health influencing our body, correct? Do you guys agree with this? Because some people think the mental aspect of things cannot affect the body, and some people have opinions that no, your body is everything and then it doesn't affect the mind. Are these connected? I would like to start this off with Alistair, because he's of course spoken a lot about the mental side right now, and he's also been at a peak performance on the physical side of things. So Alistair, what's your view on mental health and physical health? Are they connected?
So the way I see it is that we are, our being is comprised of three things. So we have the physical body, toilet, dinner, sleep. We are the mental body. This is thinking, left, right, up, down, and what am I going to do later? But we're also the soul. And the soul, I believe, consciousness is being left too much out of the equation. All three have an impact on each other. You are all three. So you cannot separate these things. And to prioritize the one, I think, is also not doable.
So what would be that one thing that you would do in your life to connect the physical, the mental, and let's say the soul level? Is there some practice? Is there one tip? I know you don't like the word hack, but is there that one thing that you do apart from keeping your phone down and lowering dopamine, because you already spoke about it? What is that other thing that you think everyone out here can incorporate in their life and make this body, mind, soul connection?
Well, I actually am in the process of creating a step program which will heighten your consciousness. And this high consciousness you create, you enjoy life more. You will, and it's slow. Things happen to you. So I would describe low consciousness as bad luck. Bad. We want it as high as possible. You know what foods to eat. You're going to be healthy. You're going to this will also resemble your looks. So I have this step program. What is the step program? Well, the first one will be beat your phone addiction. The second one will be get in touch with your subconscious, with yourself. Start writing. Start programming your day. What am I going to do tomorrow? Many people don't even know which day it is. Right? They don't even have an agenda. They're all just on autopilot, and nothing good could actually come from that. Number 3 is sugar addiction. Number 4 is cold showers. Right? So that's 4 already. One more?
Okay, amazing. I hope you guys have taken notes.
I have like 36 of these steps, and you do them, your life will dramatically change, and you'll just be in a way better position of manifesting your own future.
Amazing. Thank you for that. And I'll take his word for it. The next question I have is one of the things that I see most of the time, especially with this whole social media culture, which is bringing a lot more anxiety into people's lives. And I would like to ask Dr. Smitha this question. What's your take on anxiety and the mind-body connections? And if you could tell us, what are some of your favorite hacks, modalities, tips that people can take away home right now, and someone listening to this can actually lower down their anxiety levels?
Hello, check. Great. Thank you, CJ, for this question. And this is something really, really important in this day and age where we are constantly stimulated by the social media. You wake up, instead of the coffee or whatever you want to drink, even for a glass of water, you just go to the phone, right? It's an instant stimulation.
But yeah, I know people do.
You're a biohacker, so you're out of this equation. So constantly, and your integrity is sold on to the ads. Who's like, you're being retargeted, right, from morning till evening, and you go back again, you have an app to make you sleep, right? So you're not leaving the phone at all, right? And there's this constant comparison, constant FOMO. So your brain is like super drive, right? How do you shut it down? People have taken pause? Because when I tell people I'm a meditation, I facilitate meditation, I ask people to pause. They think I must be a waste of time, right? I could do much more better things during this time. Why should I waste my time in just sitting and doing nothing? But they have not understood how that pause. You always require a pause. The chaos. In the chaos, you can't see anything clear. You need to pause and then understand where you want to go. Where are you going? I'm busy. What are you doing? I'm busy. What? Right? What are we running for? And you're constantly in the process of even saying busy, and we're busy being busy. So this is just because of the whole social media. Everywhere you go, we're just being targeted. And then the human frequencies, definitely, as Alistair said, it has to be a complete integration of the mind, body, and spirit. So there needs to be a consistent practice, a daily routine, even if it's a short matter of time, even a 2-minute meditation, 5. You don't need to do. I practice at least 3 times meditation on daily basis, and that keeps me the way I am.
So then, someone out here in the audience, if they go home tonight and they feel some anxiety, what could they do apart? And you said it very beautifully. Take a pause, take a breath.
Yeah.
Chaos doesn't happen, but that's easy said than done. Are there any other tricks or tips? Does someone just take a pause and not do anything, or do they sit down, close their eyes, or do they throw their phone away? Like, what is the practical thing that people can do today, right after listening to this, to bring that pause in their life?
Great. The first thing is that actually keep any gadgets what they have away from them. Just be away from all the EMF frequencies or whatever they are connected to. At least that's the first step. Then they sit and they start breathing at least three times, breathing and breathing out. Observe the breath. Notice the breath. And notice how it goes in and out. Notice the silence between the breaths. That itself is a meditation. Even music is meditation, right? How many of us get into a state of flow when you're listening to music? Listen to music. You're still pausing, but still there are other stimulus happening. But there is one very important practice called Yoga Nidra, which is like hands down, which I've done a lot of research on that for years, one of the most potent techniques of meditation, because many people do not know what kind of meditation they should do, because there are huge amount of data out there on YouTube and so much of content. So they have no clue unless they experience many forms of meditation and see what works best for them. Maybe dancing. You'll experience movement meditation, dance meditation, in my session. That could be meditative. But first point is connecting to yourself. That the moment you start connecting, when you get into the state of flow, no matter what method you use, that could be meditative.
Okay, thank you for that.
And mindfully eating your food could be meditative. There are many ways of going about it, but integrating the essence of meditation into your daily life, that's important, so that you can start living in the present. And this can happen only by daily practice of a consistent meditation technique will work for them.
Thank you. The next question would be to Manish. And Manish spoke beautifully this morning about how we're living through our mind, or living in our mind rather, than in the existential reality. But you come from a yogic culture, and in the yogic culture, there's a different understanding of different parts of the body. There's the food body, there's the human body, there's the mind body, there's the bliss body, all of these different bodies. What does the yogic culture say on mental health? Like, what's the yogic culture's perspective on mental health and how to calm it down?
Thank you, CJ. I actually studied psychology and then moved to yoga. So that was the natural transition. Psychology is essentially the study of a sick mind, and meditation is the study of a healthy mind. That is a rare phenomenon because we don't always have a healthy mind. To be able to study that is yoga. The way we perceive it in the tradition is that we have 4 different words for mind. The first is Manas, the monkey mind that's chattering to us as we are part of this currently. And then there is Buddhi, the critical mind that made a decision, should I be here for this conference or no? And then comes Ahamkara, which is the individuation, so my identity. And then comes Chitta, everything within of me, conscious, subconscious, unconscious. Now, I may be really intelligent, but if I identify we see in the yogic tradition. And what is mental health in the yogic tradition when this is completely silent? Right now, if you're here and this is not talking to you, but you can smell, you can hear, you can be, we are healthy.
Thank you. Thank you. Last but not the least, we have just a few minutes, but for you. So I was checking the statistics today, and it seems like 703,000 people commit suicide every year. This is very unfortunate in a state and a time that we live, where we have more social support, or we have means of so much more social support than ever. And I was talking to someone this morning, and they told me that one of their friends attempted a suicide last week. And one of the reasons was they were not able to express their true identity. So they were keeping things on themselves, and they were not sharing a lot of these things. So what kind of a role do you think expression has in terms of our mental health? If we keep a lot of things, and I see this a lot these days, a lot of the people, they always keep things to themselves. Maybe they're shy, maybe they're afraid, maybe they're embarrassed to say things. Sort of energy sort of builds up in their body. And then when you don't express it, like you mentioned, dance is a way of expression. Physical exercise is a way of expression. One of the reasons why people will have a lot of mental health problems is because we're the human body. We have certain allotment of energy toward exercise, and most of us don't even reach half of it. Certain allotment of energy through creative expression and sharing, and that doesn't happen. So long story short, I just want to your on how important expression is, and if someone comes to you with a problem that they're not able to express, what would be your tips?
Okay, that is quite a deep one. I hope everyone's awake for it. But okay. So I think I'm just going to share, some experiences of 18, 20-year-olds who I'm speaking with these days. And they come for varied reasons. And then by the time we're digging in deep, we feel, okay, there's a person here who's doesn't know, maybe their emotions are suppressed. So the word depression is a bit scary here. I don't want to use it too often. Anxious sometimes is a good word, but I think it starts with me redefining what they think is acceptable in society. The standards for an 18, 20-year-old, and I'm just going to go back to me being 18, 20, about 20 years back. And those have changed, and I wouldn't use the word evolved, because Instagram and the social media and all of that, I'm seeing that become pretty much the religion, really, to decide. You've got these tenets that are happening. You got to look like this, you got to sound like this, you got to be like this, you got to have a life with these photographs, and you got to look perfect. And so they think that's the new normal, right? So I think what I would do is redefine standards with them. And expression would come out, I see, as we redefine those. And preferences, be it sexual today, becoming a very big challenge as well. People come from backgrounds where they're not okay about expressing that either. So just general awareness on acceptability, societal norms. When I start talking about that, I see people talk. So I think that's when I get them in a safe space, that they are not abnormal and there is nothing called normal. And me and you, we both have our normal and we both have abnormals. When I get to that part, I think expression, yes, as you said, talking works. Yoga works, de-addiction works from sugar, dance works, reading scriptures or ancient sciences works. But when you're actually talking to a young kid today, I have learned how to simply get to their level and tell them it's everything is okay today. The way you want to be, everything is okay. So I think that's the way I look at anxiety or depression today.
Amazing. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're almost toward the end of this discussion, and would love for the audience to ask questions so all of us can answer them. Is there anyone who has any kind of question? The raise of hand. We have that man in the black cap that I can see really far. You've got to shout.
Nice, Jake. Looking good. Basically, my question is for every single one of you, how do you perceive mental health 5 years from now, or even 10 years?
You've got to be a bit louder. We can't hear you here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, it's better.
Muy bien. Basically, how do you perceive mental health 5 to 15 years from now with the use of tech?
With the use of tech or testing?
Technology.
Tech. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Anyone would like to ask? How do you see mental health up to the 50 years from now? You said?
Yeah, let's say 15.
50. Let's say 50 years from now using tech. So what kind of? Yeah.
So say mental health is going to be a disaster 50 years from now, unless each and every one of us integrate these mindfulness or meditative or yogic practices or taking part. It's going to. I'm working with a lot of anxiety and depressions and suicidal. And nowadays, because everyone is so consumed and they don't have time to even just look into each other's eyes and just say, I'm here for you. How many friends have you sit in a coffee shop going for a meeting? They are in their phones, right? Partners, they're traveling, they're having a vacation together. How many of them are together actually? And where are the relationships going? So it's going to go bad because they're all about doing the we over there. My life is great. And then what happens, right?
Living life through Instagram.
You're living life for others to see, for the validation, right? In spite of being so much away from all of them, like forced to get into this because how many followers do you have? You exist if you have so. So we're still drawn into the space. So we have no way out. At the same time, there are beautiful, technology helps in a lot of ways, right? All those neurofeedback, a lot of things that you can do with brain training, where you can measure stuff. That naturally, what you can do, I think, simple practices, daily routines to train. Like you go to the gym, you train your body, you train your muscles. Who is doing a daily practice for their mind? Mind and body and the spiritual side has to exist together, because only 5% is conscious. 95% we are driven by subconscious. Who's taking care of that? Where are those cars, the fears? Are we even listening? Most important thing I would say is just listen. Listening is very, very important. Yeah.
Would anyone else like to answer, Manish?
Maybe we could look at the positive side of things. Today, artificial intelligence is all the rage. Maybe 50 years from now, people will be fed up with it and and be back original wisdom and not artificial intelligence. Maybe a positive outlook might help, brother, 50 years from now.
I would like to add to Manish's point. I also imagine a future where things like AI, right now we're on level 0 of AI, but this thing is, we already know what ChatGPT can do and what other potentials are. So I imagine a possibility in the future where most of the things that we're supposed to do just because it makes us money, but our soul doesn't want to do it, and we are forced to do something, that is going to go away because all of the quote unquote boring things are to be taken care with technology. And this is probably the first or one of the first times humans will have a new possibility to imagine where they can actually delve deep into experiential and something that they're really passionate about, because the tech is doing all the other work. And now, for the first time, they can actually do something that they really like and make a difference, whether in someone's lives, their own lives, or just contribute to the world. So I think 50 years from now, looking at the exponential change in technology, the exponential change in biohacking, the exponential change in artificial intelligence, we're going to have such a bright future because we're going to be empowered. The only thing I would like to mention is the word responsibility. So if each and every one of us know what's going to happen and we know the advantages, disadvantages of technology, if we're taking responsibility for it, we can make it work in our best effect. So yeah, that's for me. Anyone else would like to add something? Okay, so that's for today. I am so grateful for you guys to join me. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys found value from this. I would love to, I was so inspired by Alistair's speech a couple of minutes ago, and he is here. So I'm going to make this even more interesting for you guys. I'm going to ask you a question, depending on the conversation that we just had. Anyone who raises their hand first and gives the right answer, I'm giving away, just because Alistair is here, a UFC gym membership in UAE, free for a year. Anyone want that? Hands up. Okay, so the question is, help me out to pick someone. Okay. Dr. Smita spoke about pause. What is that one important way she mentioned that you can take a pause in your life? Hands up and we'll... Is he? His hands is up? No, his hand is not up. Okay, you're the most closest. Tell us. We can give him the mic.
I believe it goes by taking a step and really focus on the things that matter in your life more.
Should we give him the prize? Should we try something else?
Yes, we should give him.
We should give him the prize. And you're already the strongest man. You're okay.
Yes, we should give him.
Sorry, we have one more. Let's listen to one more answer. That lady there.
So put your phone away and take 3 deep breaths. Was the pause.
I will let Dr. Smita decide. Yeah, I would love to give you 6 months, but that doesn't happen. Dr. Smita, take your call. We cannot do the 6 months.
Hello, check. Say is that when we're just pausing, we're already thinking about what.
No, you're not competing. You have to tell which one.
No, I'm just telling why. I mean, definitely we need to give 6 because both are right in different ways. But pause is about not just thinking about anything, not even a purpose. It's about nothingness, about just me, myself, my breath, and this present moment. That's it. We are not manifesting something, creating a project, right? So
who do we give the prize to?
Both.
We have one winner.
Ideally, I just basically both of them has partly said it right. It's about just being in the present. It's not about thinking about the future or making a project or just doing, breath.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Everyone,
It's a tie.
let's give you the option. Round of applause for everyone who thinks she should get the prize. Round of applause and we'll... Okay. Round of applause for everyone who thinks he should get the prize. It was louder here, right? Okay.
Both of
By
them.
the winner, by the audience decision, you win. We'll get in touch with you later. And thank you so much. I think we should just give everyone else the chance. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining me. Really appreciate it. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I thought she was competing, but no.
Thank you much. Mr. Manish, I have a question for you, a very quick question. I was noticing the smile on your face all the time. Is it yoga that is helping you keep that? It's the state of your mind which is reflecting on your face. Yeah.
What else is there to do but laugh?
Wow. All right. Thank you very much. So yes, I think many of us are still outside, so we'll wait for everyone. But of course, it's right now time for all of you to actually move out for the biohack experience. And don't forget to check out the Lemurs booth at the exhibition hall. Try out and check out the possibilities of you to collab with them, and that's all to help you reach out your services to the world. So do not forget to experience the yoga, meditation, all biohack experiences in the exhibition hall. And also, before you leave, let me tell you that you've got to be here in the next 20 minutes. So that'll be, 5:40. If you can be here, we can have the other sessions. Else, we'll be again run late. And also, just a reminder that the knowledge that we will be sharing here with these 2 days does not constitute for any medical advice or treatment for any health disorder or condition. And yes, there'll be more giveaways of the UFC gym membership. So not just some of you also get to win. Congratulations again.